Do your best to not envy others. Let me explain why. Let's say that you're envying someone's material wealth. But in the big picture, here's an example. Let's say that you're driving beside someone. You have a vehicle, they have a vehicle. Their vehicle is slightly nicer than yours. When you zoom out far enough, let's say you're like in the sky and you're looking down at these two vehicles. One is just slightly shinier than the other. Like they're both just pieces of tin that you're driving in. Let's use a house as an example. You're like, man, that person's house is so big, it's so nice. Like zoom out far enough, it's like their mud shack is just slightly bigger than yours. It's like, and it's this thing that we can just think about all the times. We can just envy people and wish we were them or wish we had what they had, but it's not helpful, nor does it matter. I think a lot of the time, something that really helped me out was that, like, do not envy material wealth in the sense of just break it down what it is. Let's say, for example, I worked in construction as a carpenter for many years, and I got to see these houses, beautiful houses, and I got to see them be constructed from the ground up. And it's just funny when you see it, and when you break it down into its pieces, it's like, here's a piece of 2x4, 2x6, just a piece of wood. Here's some concrete, everyone's dirty, and we're making the foundation. Here's the piece of really dusty drywall, putting up the drywall. Then you mud and tape it, it's super messy. Then you paint it. It's just like, it's a really dirty process. And it's just these raw materials from Earth, you know? It's just raw materials that we're just gluing together, laminating together, and then the end result is like, oh wow, look at this amazing. It's like, it's just raw goods. Like, is that really what you're gonna spend your one life pursuing and envying, is like this stuff? When you zoom out far enough, it's just their shack is slightly bigger than your shack. Like, just if you have a shelter and like food and like not even a vehicle, but if you do have a vehicle, that's awesome. If you have a job, that's awesome. Like, it's so easy to get caught up in envying these other people, but it's not helpful. It's just kind of silly. The other thing too is you don't know what people are going through. And I think sometimes it's so easy to be like, man, they have it better than I do. They just, you can walk into a store and see this picture perfect family and everyone looks great. It's like really good wife, really good looking husband. Kids look super clean and cool and awesome. And then I just heard this story recently, and like this, I saw a picture of this family and they just look like so perfect. And soon to realize that the husband unlived himself. He had struggles. And you just think, man, most people would have just looked at this family and just envied them. Their new house. He had a great job. Beautiful wife. Beautiful children. It's like, what more did he want? Now, who am I to judge? I don't know his struggles. I don't know what he was going through, but it's just to say that it would be easy to stand back and be like, I wish I was them. It would be easy to stand back and envy them, but it's pointless. And there's many stories like that I saw. I remember this one story really impacted me because I came from quite a religious background. And so this one pastor in the States, his dad passed away and he basically took over being the pastor. And it was like a church of like thousands and thousands of people. Really great looking guy, really good in shape, beautiful wife, kids. Same thing. And the pressure was too much, and he unlived himself. And that one hit me hard at the time. This is like quite a few years ago, because it was just like, man, you had it all. You had people looking up to you. People respected you. You found your spouse. You had your kids. And from the outside, it'd be very easy to envy this person. But once again, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know their story. So instead of just staring at other people and being like, wow, look how lucky they are. Wow, look how lucky they are. And it's like, if you're comparing for the material wealth, just think about it. Of course, who doesn't want a house, shelter, heat, water, all, like the necessities, right? The survival guide of things that you need to survive in this world. Of course. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking for the people that have a few things and they just keep wanting more. And I have found myself in that position where it's like, I've accomplished a certain goal and then I can start envying that person. And it's just like, why am I doing that? Like, I know I'm going to just kill myself over trying to attain these things. It's like, no, why don't I start pursuing things that I actually want to pursue instead of just focusing just on that? And then on the other hand, it's like, no, don't envy that family or that other person, male or female, that look like everything's just perfect, because you don't know what's happening inside. So at the end of this whole thing, just to conclude this, all I'm trying to say is do not envy others. Just focus on your own story. Focus on your own inner peace. Focus on just what's within you. It's like, are you improving from yourself from yesterday? Right? Do you feel like you've been accomplishing and pursuing those desires and things you have within you, those interests that you have, or something that you want to try out? And just focus on your story. We're all running different races here. There's no need to be taking all this time to just comparing yourself to others. Don't do that. It's such a waste of time. Find peace in just focusing on your story, your progress.